and welcome to Week 3, Season 3 of the AEFL, guys. And man, was it kind of a boring week as a group, as a league. All our points dipped a little bit. But nonetheless, let's get into the scores as Ben took me down 124.8 to 83.6. The Raging Boners get back to their hard winning ways, picking up their first win of the year, 119.4 to 109 over Team Minivan. Dustin picks up the win over Will, 93.6 to 77.8. And as predicted in last week's video, Yates goes 3-0, getting the win over Jared, 109.5 to 88.3. And the new improved team name of Brandon Optimus has paid off as Paul Baker's dream team picks up the big win over Barr, 147.4 to 128.8. And Old Smuggler gets the win over Find a Black and Decker, 143.1 to 132.1. Going into the games a little bit more, let's be honest, the Commissioners team sucks. The injuries are killing me. Amendola's out. Ray Rice was out. Reggie Bush was out. Tom Brady's not that good this year due to all the rookie wide receivers. Ben, on the other hand, has a great team, especially all his wide receivers. Julio Jones, Randall Cobb, Reggie Wayne. These are three guys that you know are going to get the ball every week. Now, if Jared Cook could pick up a little bit of slack at the tight end position, be even better. As mentioned, Raging Boners gets the first win of the year. All those trades paying off. As Powell got you big points. That's 3 weeks in a row he's put up over 10 points for the New York Jets with at the running back position. Now, Mike Vick may have not got you very many points compared to Russell Wilson, who you had been starting. But Wilson went up against the Jacksonville Jaguars while Vick faced Kansas City with the old, Andy Reid back in town. So I think overall it's going to pay off. Just a tough matchup on that portion of things. Will, on the other hand, you traded for Arian Foster with Mike Vick, and he only gets you about 6 or so points. Definitely not what you're looking for. But he did face the Baltimore Ravens defense, which is always tough. Then you had Dwayne Bowe and Emmanuel Sanders let you down, while Dustin, on the other hand, got just kind of big points from his wide receivers as well. He also had Pierre Garçon on the bench, who's put up big points the last 3 weeks. Something to think about, maybe possibly trading. And then kind of funny is with your fantasy team like the 49ers last year, who are you going to start at QB? Alex Smith, who's been consistent all 3 weeks, or Kaepernick? He has that big point ability like he did the first week, but the last 2 weeks he's just fizzled, putting up basically nothing and hurting your team. But nonetheless, Will happened to put up the least amount of points in the league, and you still get the victory. Then going into Yates' game, just like he predicted in the video, touche to you, man. You're now 3-0. Cam Newton gets you big points, but then your running back, CJ Spiller, dude, huge disappointment. Gotta get something figured out there, but your pickup of Bell, the Lions running back, has been just monumental in saving your season. Well, not really saving it, but making sure that you're still 3-0 has been huge. And then Fichter, right now you're 1-2, but you just made that trade for Andrew Luck, Bradshaw, and Thomas, the Denver's tight end, which I think is a huge trade. I mean, kudos to you that you're finally not getting trade raped, but you're actually taking advantage of some trades. Because I think Tanner, we've talked about this, I think it's a crazy trade. Those are 3 really good players. I think the Colts are still going to do a 1-2 punch with Richardson and Bradshaw. Or nonetheless, I think you could have traded for some better running backs than what you received. But, I mean, Tanner, your team's not doing too bad either, scoring the second highest points. And those players that you traded were on your bench. But something that does come to mind is we're doing a keepers next year, and you have 2 very young guys that you just gave up for the now. So it's either do you want to be good in the long run, or do you want to win back-to-back championships? I don't know. I think you're just going for the win now. Can't blame you for wanting to get the back-to-back championships. Going into Bars and Brandon's game, interesting how that trade worked out, and has Brandon traded Des Bryant for Sproles and Antonio Brown. Sproles picks up 9 points, and Antonio Brown goes off for 40, not to mention Drew Brees scored over 30 points for you, while Des Bryant only picked up 13. I mean, not a bad trade for Barr, but kind of backfired in the fact that Antonio Brown ended up scoring 40 points. Do I think he's going to do that every week? No. But nonetheless, kind of backfired for this week as you end up getting the loss there. And Brandon, with the new and improved team name, gets the most points in the league. I think it might be a little bit of foreshadowing of what's to come. Old Smuggler, as I mentioned, makes that trade, basically sending his backup players and still scores second highest in the league this week, beating Find a Black and Decker by 11 points. Trevor, on the other hand, looks like Roddy White has finally ran its course. All those years of drafting him has come to an end. Thank God. I'm tired of seeing it. But like I said last week, man, if Peyton Manning's not throwing 7 touchdowns, I'm a little concerned if you're going to keep on winning, as Greg Olson's not putting up very many points. I don't think your flex, where you had Roddy White scoring very many. Just something to think about, where mostly the top half of your roster scoring all the points, while the bottom half struggles. I mean, you're still putting up 132 points, which is enough to beat everyone else, but to get back towards the championship, you need the whole roster to be a little bit more consistent than what it has been. Now, just enough talk about Trevor. Let's talk about him a little bit more, though, in the fact of it's now time for Trevor Freimeyer's Cocksucker of the Week.
No, wait, he definitely wants to get you hot dog. You cocksucker!
And this week's Trevor Freimeyer's Cocksucker of the Week goes to myself. Why? Because I am now the last place team in the league, the lowest scoring team in the league. Tom Brady is just awful this year. Well, more like his receivers are awful. Reggie Bush is hurt. Ray Rice is hurt. And then Amendola's hurt. I mean, what else could go wrong at this point? Maybe T.Y. Hilton gets hurt. I start playing the wrong players even more. But for this week, I'm going to go with myself. But enough about me and the commish. Now let's have a little word from Barr, who I basically just busted his balls last week in that news flash. So, as I mentioned, let's have a little word from Ethan Barr.
Hey, Kraft. So what if I have to check my team 7 or 8 times a day? I like the results so far. Not winning too much. 2 losses already. Same amount I had in the entire last year. But goes with the territory. Trent Richardson going to a better team. Des Bryant, like him a lot. Jordan Cameron, one of the best tight ends in football. Jordy's a top 15 receiver this year. McCoy's one of the best. David Wilson sitting on the bench, and when he gets playing time, I think I'll be alright. And just without, I like getting my quarterbacks. I think I took Romo in the 8th or 9th round this year. Keep getting a bunch of trade offers for him. As long as Trevor's convinced that he looks like Cooper Manning, I think he's going to keep sending me bullshit trade offers. Yeah, and I got a loss this week. Giving up Antonio Brown the week he gives up 40 points. It just happens to go against the team I'm facing. I got trade rape this week. It happens from time to time. Just not going to be dealing.
And we all got to definitely thank Barr for that, taking a little bit of time to make the video and being as charismatic as he was. But let's get into next week's games as I face Newton's Law. Grand Slam Breakfast Squad plays Paul Baker's Dream Team, Team Minivan, and Find a Black and Decker. Raging Boners takes on Old Smuggler. Liquor in the front, Poker in the back faces former Child Stars, and Inglorious Bastards takes on Helmet to Helmet Contact. Both 3-0 teams are facing 1-2 teams, while everyone else plays the other people in between. But guys, as always, it's been good. But you know what? It's time for that famous sign off. Fuck you.